We did say on Status Quo that we were going to discuss, and we'll discuss first, that we're going to jump into the MMT story. But I think it's very important that we do cover this, probably the most, you could call it gut-wrenching, I call it more heartfelt. But
yeah, the sermon. Let's watch the sermon.
It's impactful a sermon, because remember, Christmas is really about keeping Jesus in Christmas. So if we're going to do that, let's do it the right way, not the
right Jesus. Go ahead.
Here's the speech yesterday from Bethlehem, birth of Jesus, Mr. Reverend Isaac.
What kind of a world and future we are leaving our children if we accept a reality where war criminals go unpunished, even actually emboldened, where they openly boast of their crimes, and rather than met with justice, they are met with applauses in the halls of Congress and defended by European parliaments. This is what's happening today. And they still dare to lecture us on human rights and international law. They tell us never again. Never again to us is only a slogan. It's actually empty words, honestly. Because never again should mean never again to all peoples. Never again has become yet again. Yet again to supremacy. Yet again to racism. And yet again to genocide. And sadly, never again has become yet again for the weaponization of the Bible and the silence and complicity of the Western Church. Yet again for the church siding with power, the church siding with the empire. And so today, after all this of total destruction and annihilation, and Gaza is erased, unfortunately, millions have become refugees and homeless, tens of thousands killed. And why is anyone still debating whether this is a genocide or not? I can't believe it. Yet even when church leaders simply call for investigating whether this is a genocide, he is called out and it becomes breaking news. Friends, the evidence is clear. Truth stands plain for all to see. The question is not whether this is a genocide. This is not the debate. The real question is, why isn't the world and the church calling it a genocide? It says a lot when you deny and ignore and refrain from using the language of genocide. This says a lot. It actually reveals hypocrisy. For you lectured us for years on international laws and human rights. Never again should mean never again to all peoples. Never again has become yet again. Yet again to supremacy. Yet again to racism. And yet again to genocide. And sadly, never again has become yet again for the weaponization of the Bible and the silence and complicity of the Western Church. Yet again for the church siding with power, the church siding with the empire. And so today, after all this of total destruction and annihilation, and Gaza is erased, unfortunately, millions have become refugees and homeless, tens of thousands killed. And why is anyone still debating whether this is a genocide or not? I can't believe it. Yet even when church leaders simply call for investigating whether this is a genocide, he is called out and it becomes breaking news. Friends, the evidence is clear. Truth stands plain for all to see. The question is not whether this is a genocide. This is not the debate. The real question is, why isn't the world and the church calling it a genocide? It says a lot when you deny and ignore and refrain from using the language of genocide. This says a lot. It actually reveals hypocrisy. For you lectured us for years on international laws and human rights. It reveals your hypocrisy. It says a lot on how you look at us Palestinians. It says a lot about your moral and ethical standards. It says everything about who you are when you turn away from the truth, when you refuse to name oppression for what it is. Or could it be that they're not calling it a genocide? Could it be that if reality was acknowledged for what it is, that it is a genocide, then that it would be an acknowledgement of your guilt? For this war was a war that was so many defended as just and self-defense. And now you can't even bring yourself to apologize. We said last year, Christ is in the rubble. And this year we say, Christ is still in the rubble. The rubble is his manger. Jesus finds his place with the marginalized, the tormented, the oppressed, and the displaced. We look at the Holy Family and see them in every displaced and homeless family living in despair. In the Christmas story, even God walks with them and calls them his own. So today, let us reflect on the child Jesus, the child of Bethlehem. At the heart of the incarnation, there is a child. And this child, in his weakness, he is our hope. He is our consolation. He is our strength. This child, let us remember, this child shook Herod's throne when he was born. And while there are some who talk about the Roman Empire or glorify Herod as great, we are the ones who sing of a child born to refugees escaping a massacre. Yes, it has been 440 days. It is 440 days of Palestinians' resilience, Sumud. Indeed, it is 76 years of Sumud. But we have not and will not lose hope. Yes, it is 76 years of an ongoing Nakba, but it is also 76 years of Palestinian Sumud, clinging to our rights and justice of our cause. 76 years of praying and singing for peace. I was thinking about it. We are stubborn people. We continue to pray for peace year after year after year and sing about peace, and we will continue to do so. And we will continue to echo the words of the angels, glory to God in the highest, peace on earth.
Powerful stuff.
How
Yeah.
many days now? How many days?
What do you say? 440, I guess, was when when he gave that.
How many dead innocent children?
Well, we don't know. I have
The
said
number
from the beginning,
bounced
I
all
do
over.
not see how this ends without 2.2 million dead bodies in the desert. That's what I think they're waiting for that to happen. And then they're just going to bulldoze over and just build whatever they're going to build and expand.
The importance of this message is to not let anybody, as you've said, Jen, no one in a position of power, especially in this current system that we sit in, should ever have a moment's peace. They should be reminded on a day, and that's the thing. It's like, can't you wait a day? Can't you let us have our Christmas?
No.
You don't deserve anything. In fact, on Christmas is when you should have it driven right through your brain harder than any other day.
Exactly.
While you're sitting around, cozy, by the fire, family, nestled with your presents and your eggnog and God knows what else, probably some drugs too, that lets you get by. This stuff could easily end, but the privilege of this country, of this culture, is so deep and so immense. And the hypocrisy is real. And so I don't think it's too much of a leap when we compare what's going on in Palestine with what's going on with Luigi Mangione. There are these signs around us all the time that say that the opportunity to completely take this system down and turn it into something else is right there in front of us right now. And it could happen. But people have to recognize that this is a class war, nothing more. If they do recognize that, and I think a lot of them are starting to get it, maybe there is some hope. But right now, as they say, night is darkest just before the dawn. I don't know if dawn's around the corner, but it's pretty fucking dark right now.